Ladies and gentlemen, we have Hydrogen Bomb versus the freaking Coughing Baby. Yes, of course, we're talking about how that one finale season completely ruined the entire show itself, and how one of the greatest villains somehow turned into a snowflake, and some other BS that should have never happened. Yeah, everyone give it up for the boys. Now, before we get started on the video, let's give a round of applause to such an end of an amazing character arc. You guessed it, A-Train. Yep, cop it up. Cop it up one more time, because those 2 episodes were probably the only good things that happened in The Boys Season 5. Okay, now that we got out of the way and we have 99.67% viewer retention, let's start with the power scaling, and specifically our dearly beloved Homelander. Well, where do I even start? We all know power scaling in The Boys has not been consistent. But to this level of absurdity in the finale, and yes, let me repeat it, in the finale, it's insane work. Let's just look how Homelander was portrayed in the last few seasons, shall we? And I'm gonna go through this quick, because surely as The Boys fan, we watch our shows, right? Okay, let's get into it. Season 1, Episode 1, Homelander's unalive Major Steve and his son by lasering the plane in half. And then at the final episode, Homelander saved Butcher with insane speed from the C4 explosion. Like, I genuinely cannot believe how fast he was here, compared to Season 5. Season 2, Episode 7, flying Ryan into the sky in milliseconds. And then in Season 3, Episode 6, we see the epic battle, right? Huey got the Temp V, Butcher got the Temp V, and yeah, we got Freezer Boy got into a fight with Homelander, and then whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, he managed to escape with insane strength and flight speed. Again, bro just blasts into the sky, I guess. And then Season 4, Episode 7, he tear apart this Web Weaver diarrhea-looking hero into 2-piece. And then finally at Episode 2 of Season 5, where he chases down A-Train. And at this point, I probably don't have to mention to you guys that A-Train is a speedster, right? Like, just look at how OP Homelander is. Insane speed, insane strength. We get a clear picture of just almost like Superman strength. So the boys really got us thinking, surely this final battle is gonna be so epic. Surely we're not fighting in a presidential room. Surely Homelander is not gonna be held down by only his son and Butcher. Like surely they can't mess up the finale. Surely, yeah, you know what? Surely they can't mess up the final episode, right? Wrong. We're wrong. And before any of you yell at me, oh, go watch the fight again, oh, go, that's the perfect ending for Homelander, he should be miserable. Well, I got good news for you. I actually love how the ending turned out. But the problem, and for me, my problem, is not the ending. It's the damn process. It's how we get to it. Like, how we get to this godforsaken ending itself was a complete mess. You can't tell me how V1 injected Homelander end up being straight butt booty cheeks, comparing to when he was just having regular V in his blood. And you know what? I'll say it, false advertisement. Because the moment they show us Freezer Boy handing Homelander V1, the show kind of edged us, no? They kind of edged us to think that, oh, OP Homelander is coming. But joke's on us, I guess. He can't even fly as fast as he was. Laser somehow end up being useless. And please, don't even start with the Kimiko also got V1. That's why she's not getting affected by Homelander laser anymore. I'm gonna just say this once and for all. V1 Homelander. V1 injected Homelander. You know what? At least they could have just broke out the president room and have a little bit more chaotic fight. And honestly, at that point of the episode, I was 100% convinced that they probably ran out of budget. Most of the money was spent on the A-Train and Homelander chase. But I mean, is it that hard to respect your fans just a little? Is it that hard just to have more polished final season? Well, obviously it's too hard for us because we're just being edged at this point. And I think by now I might have an idea on why this finale is the way it is. It's because Clara wanted this. I blame her. And apparently Stormfront also wants the Gen V to be absolutely nothing more than some Uber drivers in their appearance in the season finale. Big disclaimer, I haven't got a chance to watch Gen V yet. I know, I'm an unk. I need to catch up. So just for my own safety, I would not be making any claims about the Gen V series to save my ass from the boys fans, but just solely from their role in the season finale. And according to my research and from my own watch, the 2 characters that appeared in the show were Marie Moreau, is that how you pronounce it? And Jordan Lee. One is a bloodbender and the other one is a gender bender. I mean, which is pretty OP. You know, it helps in combat to change from brute force to agility. And then with Marie, I mean, bloodbender, that's Yeah, that's OP. Now, from a Gen V viewer standpoint, you guys probably already seen their powers being put on screen, and probably were expecting these two to, at least have some kind of performance in the final season, or knowing that they canceled Gen V series entirely, right? Well, yeah, I got bad news. Not only did we not see any action from Marie and Jordan, but their role was minimized to nothing but some transporters to transfer civilians to Canada. I mean, this is just something that I cannot wrap my head around in season 5 for The Boys. It's the finale, so you cancel your spin-off to advertise it in a way that the characters from the spin-off would be important to the plotline of the main show, but then just to minimize their appearance to a cameo? And you know what's worse? The audience were actually looking forward to it. So look at some of this. So yeah, this was some of the threads that I found from the subreddit Gen V, where people speculate and just do some just basically discussions on the last season of The Boys itself. And I just find this, honestly, it's not even funny at this point. I feel so bad for the Gen V fans and just The Boys fan in general. We got one person saying, I think we'll see them briefly toward the finale. Mary is going to play some part in the V1 plotline. She will be able to separate V1 from Homelander's blood or something to that effect. Bro, we didn't even see her doing any of her powers. I honestly hope she doesn't play such a big role. I don't want her to be the Duke's ex machina. I would rather prefer if she powers up Brian or Butcher to Cleo Homelander. Whoop-de-whoop. Sure, completely valid, right? Completely valid reasoning. But I mean, carry on. Marie will be a part of Homelander's death. Don't worry. Apparently, she's the most powerful sub. Well, I have no words. Here from the future. To be honest, just from a viewer standpoint, just from a casual viewer standpoint, I myself would expect them to do the same, because final season, right? Biggest fight ever gonna happen. And then you cancel your spin-off entirely. No more Gen V. And then saying that, oh yeah, we will put them in the final season. So they better do something, right? They better, just do something with the plot, even just a little bit. But no, we got just transporters and Uber driver again. I think there's one comment that said it best for this season, and also speak a lot of volumes that I want to say as well about how they be, doing these Gen V characters so wrongly. This person said, I don't want characters from the spin-off to come in and full-on steal spotlight and time from unresolved stuff / main characters. On the other hand, I didn't watch 2 seasons of Gen V and see all that build up to them joining their chosen sides for there to be this little going on for them in The Boys' final season. I expected to see them do something by now, or be even mentioned in a remotely meaningful context. For me, the season could have been so peak. After watching season 5, it almost left me in a trance and almost in a stage of what ifs. From the potential of the final fight to how they could have spent more love to the writing overall of the season. Personally, I have genuinely enjoyed the first 4 seasons. I love the unhingedness. The writing makes sense. The build up to the final fight was, actually building up. But do you remember when The Boys was funny and good? The final season was still funny, but the writing completely I don't know if it's multiple people writing, but it just completely threw away the build up. And then with all these filler episodes and I don't know, it's just a mess. What frustrated me the most is because The Boys didn't fall apart because it stopped being funny. The writing for the jokes, top tier. And it definitely didn't fall apart because the characters weren't interesting anymore. All of them still kept their characteristics and their charm. I mean, it just fell apart because the writing stopped respecting the setup the first 4 seasons have made. And it kind of just not respect the viewers from my standpoint. For 4 seasons, the show kept telling us how terrifying Homelander was, how powerful he is. For 4 seasons, it kept building to this final confrontation. And when we finally got there, it felt like the show was more interested in getting to the ending, as fast as they could. Or, just because probably they already have so many filler episodes, the main meat of the season, that they kind of just rushed into the ending. And do I still love The Boys? Of course. There's no sheer amount of hate at all. This is simply wanting The Boys to be better. Do I think the first 4 seasons are some of the most entertaining thing I've watched in years? 100%. But I think that's why season 5 hurts so much for me. Because you know how good this show could have been, and because you can still see the glimpse of it being great. So I still blame Clara. Yeah, you messed up the whole thing for us. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about the finale, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.